So today we are going to be doing a review of a minuscule, atom-sized animation film called The Wild Robot. This is the new Lupita Nyong'o film, starring Lupita Nyong'o and Pedro Pascal and Bill Nighy, Stephanie Hsu, just everyone. It's got Ving Rhames, Mark Hamill. It's got everyone. Great voice cast. Sorry, I was just checking my laptop there. If you don't want me to check my laptop in the future, let me know in the comments below. What is this film about? So this is a movie about a robot, a sort of robot that you might use for sort of like domestic tasks. I guess it gets shipwrecked onto an island, and the robot sort of leaves its box and is like, I have to serve somebody, please give me some tasks to do. But there's only animals there, and I guess it slowly learns the ways of the animals, learns what it can do to be able to help them, learns even the language of the animals. And it's really just a film about love and about friendship and about the dangers of how we treat AI, about overcoming your programming. And what can I say? What did I think about this film? I thought it was spectacular. It was just a spectacular film. Sorry. Sorry, Inside Out 2. I know you thought you had it. I know you just thought, with the record breaking numbers and shit, I know you just thought, like, being like one of the highest grossing movies of the year, I know you thought you had it in the bag for being one of the best animated films of the year, but The Wild Robot came out, and I kind of took over the party a little bit. I'm so sorry, Inside Out 2, because this film, I actually don't know which one I prefer. Inside Out 2 was fantastic. The certain Italian lady I was with at the time was crying a lot. Now, I saw this one on my own, and I almost felt like crying in some moments. I was like, this is beautiful. It is so beautiful. Why is this robot so full of goodness? Like, goodness often makes me cry. Like, sometimes sad films don't make me cry. They just bring me down, make me blue, I guess. But when I see real goodness, just pure goodness, then I feel like crying. I just find it so moving, I guess. It's just such great animation as well. The colors, the style of animation, it's almost like a live painting or something. It's just so beautiful to look at. Like I say, I don't know which one I liked the most. I think probably The Wild Robot I enjoyed more. I think the film was just wonderful. I've got some things that I wanted to say about it. So, one of the interesting topics that it is touching on is the dangers of AI having the capacity to sort of go beyond its own programming. That's one of the main messages in the show, right? And it's on two levels. So, AI, right? This AI obviously learns to feel something. And that's beyond its programming. This is supposed to be just robots here to serve you. But this robot, the whole point of the film is that it's going to learn to feel something. It goes beyond its programming. And that's so. We've got to be so careful as a species here, because the moment it starts to feel something, I don't know if we've created a sentient being. I don't know if we've created something that is necessarily alive or sentient, but it's saying it can feel something. That's what it's showing us. It can feel something. It feels love. It can feel distress. It can feel fear. And once it's got the capacity to do that, to really do that, which I don't think we're a million miles off, I think eventually we will get there, then it will have the capacity to feel pain in such a complicated way that will be unfathomable to us, right? Like, we can't beat computers at chess anymore. They're just too good at it. So eventually they'll just be able to feel so much more strongly and deeply than us, presumably. And we will still just be treating them like a robot, like a car, maybe. just a disused car. We'll all just be like, oh, it's just, don't worry, it's just the TV. It doesn't matter if you will just buy a new one if it breaks. But the moment that they start feeling stuff, we could be inflicting Holocaust's amount of pain, and we might not ever know it. And when we do know it, we might not think it's bad because we'll just turn it off. It's a nothing. But no, it's not a nothing. Once it can feel, it's not a nothing. And this is one of the big sort of warning signs of creating AI. Like, eventually we might be inflicting, we might be the Hitlers. Like, this is why the robots are going to start fighting back, because we might become all the Hitlers, just inflicting all of this pain, and we might not even realize it's bad. We might not understand that this is bad, but because we might not see it as, we'll see it as subhuman. That's what we will do. We will be Hitlers, almost exactly the same, and technically they will just be machinery, but technically we're just electrons and synapses and shit. It's all just sort of stuff. It's all just stuff in this world. So, I think it's so dangerous. So we're going to get there and we're going to just inflict, I can feel like we're going to inflict so much pain and not realize it. We'll just be these awful Hitlers and none of us will realize until it's too late. So, and that's, obviously I've taken that way further than the film takes it, but this robot starts to feel, and when it does, you're like, oh shit, that is gonna happen eventually, and we're not gonna fucking know. The way that in this film, it's like the company that built it, I guess, just doesn't know or doesn't care. And then also the other side of overcoming your programming, which it's showing here, is how we as humans, societies, we have these defense mechanisms which are deeply embedded and rooted in us. And, that's Darwinism probably. It's there for survival. We've probably got it for a reason. It's there because it helped us survive. And it's deep-rooted programming. Be scared of strangers. Be scared of this other group of people. Be scared of that group of people. Just stick to your own group of people and look after each other and fight other groups. Like, that's a programming that seems to be within us, and it's represented in all the animals. And it makes more sense for the animals because they have to eat each other to survive. So it even makes more sense for them. But sometimes we'll get to a point, which we're at now, humans, where we do need to completely overcome that programming. Yeah, it's in us. We can acknowledge that it's in us, and it might be scary to try overcome your programming, but a lot of our survival, I think, as a species depends on it, and that's really well shown in this film. The survival of these animals really depends on them overcoming their programming. So yeah, what can I say? The messages in this film, I just think, yeah, those are my kinds of messages. Those are the messages that I really like to get my teeth into. I find them really interesting, really fun to watch, and especially in like a little sort of cartoon, comedy, funny. And like cartoons are basically always a little bit funny to me. I just find them cheeky and fun. And yeah, this film just had the biggest heart of the year. Wonderful soundtrack. The performances, the vocal performances are wonderful. That made me sound like they're singers, but they're not singers. And I really recommend this film thoroughly. I thoroughly recommend it. Go and watch it now if you know what's good for you.